molweni sanibonani kunjani ndingumthwana wabantu. Let's get started. So now in a question here, let's say question number 3, right? Below are some or statements and some fractions. Means statement A, theta over 75 reduced to the lowest term, means this is options here. Means from this expression, do whatever they instruct you, and then you have to come and pick the right answer. For example, let's start with the first one. 35 over 75, when you reduce to the lowest term, which one is going to give us? Okay, so now I'm going to take 30 over 75, 30 over 75. Let me try to reduce to the lowest term. So now I have to look the number which is common for both, the number which can be divided for both of these. Now, if I look for the 2, no, it's not going to, because 30 can divide by 2, but 75 is not going to divide by 2. 5, of course. If you divide by 5, you're going to get 6. If you divide by 5, you get 15. Which number is common for both now? 3. 3 can go for both. If you divide 6 by 3, you're going to get 2. Divide 15 by 3, you're going to get 5. So 2 over 5. So this is the answer here. For A is 4. So A is 4. You can say A with 4. Now let's go for the second one. This is A with 4. You see what I'm saying? 4 with 8. Now let's go for the second one. So let me just raise this to have some space. Okay. So now we go for the next one. A fraction with a numerator of 3. So fraction with the numerator is 3. That equivalent to this 18 over 30. So me personally, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to just look like, oh, which one? So take this, simplify. So in other words, this question is more of, they want to see how you can simplify 10. So now I'm going to say 18 over 30. So if I have to look which number is common for both. Oh, number common for both. So they say with the numerator of 3. So we have to simplify in a way that the numerator is going to be 3. If I divide by 6 here, I'm going to get 3. If you divide by 6, 30 divided by 6, you're going to get what? 5. And you see the numerator, the number which is on top of the fraction, means now top, the number which is on top, and this is a numerator, and this is denominator. So now for that case now it's 3 over 5. So for B, 3 over 5 is the last option. So this is B. So this is like a B. So let's do like this. So we don't want to lose sight of them. Okay. So this 5 is B. So B with 5. B with 5. Now let's continue now. Reciprocate 5 over 3. You know when you reciprocate? When you reciprocate means you flip it. So 5 over 3 is going to be 3 over 5. But the best way to do that, okay, they say reciprocate what? 5 over 3. 5 over 3. How do you reciprocate a term? If somebody give, for example, let's say they say reciprocate what? 5 over 3. If you reciprocate 5 over 3, what you do, you flip it. Now let's reciprocate. So now the third question they say reciprocate. Okay. The third question C they say reciprocate the reciprocal 5 over 3. So when you reciprocate anything like this is 5 over 3. When you reciprocate, what you do, right? What you do, you just put power -1. For example, if somebody say reciprocate 3. If you have to reciprocate this, what you do, you just put a -1. And then if you plug this in the calculator, it's going to give you 1 over 3. You can plug in the calculator if you want. Or what you do, if you don't know what has happened here, what you do, you just say 1 over exactly this number. 3, but it's negative, it becomes positive. You see what I'm saying? Like if somebody say reciprocate x, just x, power 2. So this what you do, say 1 over, take exactly to the bottom. So it's going to be x, but the only thing you change the sign. Okay? So this is, okay, it's positive, right? So it's going to become -2. So if somebody say reciprocate, let's say 1 over 2. 1 over 2. So how you reciprocate? What you do, you just put a -1. So then what's going to happen will be 1 over, take exactly to the bottom, 1 over 2. But remember this is negative. So if it's negative, when you go to the bottom, it's going to become positive. Like just say 1 over exactly the same thing, and then change the sign. If this sign is negative, it become positive 1. And then if you plug in the calculator, this is going to give you 2 over 1. So we're going to do the same strategy here, okay? So we want to reciprocate 5 over 3. Now let's plug it in. So 5 over 3, meaning, so I'm going to say just put what? -1 if you want to reciprocate. So this time I say 1 over exactly the same thing, which is 5 over 3, but only thing change is negative, right? So it's going to become +1. So if you plug in the calculator, this is going to give us 3 over 5. So even C also is option 5. Oh, so even C is option 5. It's crazy. So C also is option 5. So it's B and C. C also option 5. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's continue now. Question number D. D is just a normal simplification. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to raise on top because we're done here with the one on top. I want to make it spicy. But we're not going to raise our option there because we still need the option. So 4, so we say D. Okay. So I think I get them. Our A equal to 4 means this A equal to 4, and our B equal to 5, and C equal to 5. This is what we have here. Let me just do this. Now let's continue now. So let's say you have to simplify this. This is very easy, guys. So what I'm going to do, normal fraction. So I'm going to say this is 1 over 4, and then we multiply -1 1 over 3. So first and foremost, I want to change this stuff to improper fraction. How you change to improper fraction? Take 4, you multiply here, and then here you add. 4 times 1, 4, plus 1 equal to 5. So it's 5 over 4. Multiply. Now you come here, you do the same again. You multiply and then we add. 3 times 1, 3, plus 1 equal to 4 over this number 3, the way how it is. Just like here, 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 equal to 5, but over this number here. Same here, 3 times 1, 3 plus 1 equals 4 over this number. But this is negative here. So either you can plug in a calculator, but most of the time in calculator, don't use a calculator, use normal mathematics. So I'll say this, same as say, when you have a multiplication, you can simplify. These 4 at the bottom, you can simplify with the 4 at the top. So top number and bottom number, they can cancel because they're the same for this case. So 5 times 1 equal to 5, 1 times 3 equal to 3, but it's negative. Negative 5 over 3. Negative 5 over 3 means for D is option 2. So for D is option 2. Now let's go for E. So of course, they say simplify this as a common fraction. This is easy. I know it's option 1, but let me just do it. So 0.4, if somebody give me say 0.5, let's say 0.5, let's say 0.53. Simplify, let's say 0.5, let's say 0.25, let's say 0.25. So make it nice. I want to make sure you can understand. 0.25. So 0.25, if you want to change it to fraction, you know what you do? Take this number, which number is this? 25, over how many decimal from the right? 1, 2 to the decimal. So if it's 1, 2, write 2, 0, and then put 1. So it's like 25 over 100. So this number here based on how many decimal there. So now if we divide by 5, 25 divided by 25 itself, we get 1. How many 25 and 25? 1. How many 25 and 100? 4. So it's 1 over 4 is a fraction. So we're going to do the same game here. 0.4 mean I'm going to write my 4 and then over how many decimal from the right? 1. So if it's 1 means 1, 0, and then just write 1. So it's going to be 4 over how many decimal? 4 over 1 means it's 0, and then you put 0. You write 1 there over there. So now we're going to say, okay, so that's what we got. But you cannot leave like that because they say you have to express in a common fraction in simplest form. This is not simplest form. This is just average fraction. So we're going to say this. If you divide by 2, 2 can go for both. By 2 you're going to get 2. If you divide by 2 you get 5. So 2 over 5. So for the last one is option 4 also. So E is option 4. So now if I had to write all my answer, I'm going to say A. Okay. A is 4. B is 5. C is 5 also. D is 2. And E is E equal to 4. Now let me go here to the option just to verify quick here. A4, A4. B5, B5. C5, C5. D2, D2. E equals 4. So option 1 here. So the option is option 1. Easy, man. It's just a waste of time. You do this question, and it's easy like that, man. Thanks a lot. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I believe in learning from how I do things. If it's make sure you subscribe, and you can just go and do donation to our Patreon page. I have a Patreon. I have a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? I have all the means of donation because to make this project going, any type of donation, the little that you think is too small for you, it could make a lot of change. And thanks a lot for all your time. Subscribe, don't forget, share this video, circulate to a lot of people, because the meaning of this project, program, is to help as many as we can. Okay, it's not only for one person or two, because you might think it's not helpful for you, but for somebody next out there, it could be very, very helpful. So thanks a lot, man. And you know, any donation that you did to me, it means so much. I appreciate, man. It means a lot. Go to our Patreon page, go to our GoFundMe, because we need to have a lot of things. We need to put them together, like camera, and a lot of equipment, so that we can improve on a lot of angle, a lot of aspects of these projects. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate and I love you. Peace, man. Bye. This is one of my students of knowledge. She wanted to introduce herself. What's your name? Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Kali.
Yeah.
I went to Southend Primary School.
Yeah, Mtwana wa Bantu. Mtwana wa Bantu is everywhere, right? So this is my other son. His name, what's your name? Matthew, yeah, he's grade 11, man. So his aim is to score distinction, right? So you promise I want you to score distinction this time. Did I want your name? Joshua. How much you promise me to score this time?
Distinction.
Distinction. Yeah, so Mtwana wa Bantu is everywhere, man.
Mtwana wa Bantu. Mtwana wa Bantu everywhere. Mtwana wa Bantu.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. If you had to give advice, which advice would you give to the people or to the students?
Trust Amish.
Why would they trust me?
No, because it's really good. It actually has helped a lot. I redid first year for maths. It was my own fault, but also I didn't know a lot of the work. And Amish said lots of hard questions, and it's demotivating sometimes to do the harder stuff. You just want to get done, but it's the hard stuff that makes you realize the easy stuff is easy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hamish. Thank you, and wish you all the best with your hard work. And I just want to say we appreciate you, and I have achieved like 93%. Sanmonani. This is Emma Onokula Wamkis Mongo. I live in Devon in KwaZulu-Natal, and I was born in KwaHlabisa in KwaZulu-Natal.
Hello everyone, this is Uketele Nomvalo from Air Johannesburg, Midrand. I'm studying through uni. I would like to thank Mr. Hamish for helping us so much. We have actually got 90 to 100% on that. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamish. Siyabonga.